All right, welcome into the High Noon stream, the first of two streams that I do each and every day here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. I am Pugs Moran, and this is High Noon. The second one that we do is called Pillow Talk. That's Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. That's a little more conversational. That's a little bit more silly. We get into one or two subjects. We tear it apart. We are basically idiots for an hour, and then everybody goes home, goes to bed, does whatever it is that they do. This one here, this is about topics. This is topics, current events, trending topics, headlines, anything that people are talking about around the water cooler, in line at Starbucks, or at the bus stop. Not that anybody uses the bus anymore, certainly not here in North Texas, but you know what I'm saying? This is a cheat sheet designed for you so that you know exactly what's happening in the world and what people are talking about. All right. First and foremost, before we get into all of the things that are, Byron's here. Hi, Byron. Oh, shut up, Byron. Hi, Jeff. Yeah, I'm late. Well, look, from time to time, we are going to be a few minutes late. This is a non-traditional week around here in the Comfort Nest Studios. I've got my 13-year-old boy with a foot injury. And if you were listening yesterday, you probably heard the story about the boat incident, so I won't recap that. But, got a bit of a foot injury. So there's a lot more time that goes into, I don't know, cleaning, irrigating, rebandaging, that kind of thing. So doing a lot of that. And also, just a little bit of a heads up, this show is not going to be a full show. It's not. We have a foot appointment. We have a foot thing that we have to do. We have to get. We saw a doctor yesterday, and then today we have to get him. I got to take him home this afternoon because he's going on vacation, and we've got running around that we have to do to purchase the appropriate. He's going to be in lakes and stuff, and we need to get some aqua socks. We need to figure out. Hey, you guys in the chat room, is there any such thing as like a waterproof sock or anything like that? That's what I'm looking for, and I don't know where can I go to for something like that? Dick's. What does that even exist? I don't know. Some of you people maybe are in the chat room. Google that for me if you could. Is there such a thing as like a waterproof sock to protect, like, I don't know, a foot injury from dirty Arkansas lake water? Because that's where he's going. He's heading out for a little family reunion, and we don't want this foot injury to be ruining any of the fun that he should otherwise be having. All right, so let's use Nu Skin. I don't know what Nu Skin is. Is it waterproof? Is it what are we talking about here? I need something so that he can play in the lake with all of his cousins, and we don't have to worry about, I don't know, dirty lake water ruining his foot. I don't want him to have to come back from this like little family trip, needing an amputated foot. We don't. Bread bag and duct tape. You know what? Honestly, Jeff, you are not that far off. That's what I said. I said a Ziploc bag. I get a Ziploc bag and then just tape that stuff up to his foot, put him inside an aqua sock. He should be fine. That's how we did it, but I'm from the 80s. Now, apparently, helicopter parents and whatnot, you got to have some sort of high priced, weird, scientifically NASA developed thing that he's got to wear. But I honestly think that all we got to do is just keep it warm. We just got to keep it dry. That's it. Just keep the foot dry. He took a shower. It wasn't dry. He washed it. It was all good. All right. So enough of that. And then, as we always say, folks, this show runs on your gratuities. This is the first day of the month. We did not make the budget last month. So if you can tip, please tip the show. You got Venmo, you got Cash App, any of those ways, PayPal as well. Any of those ways go a long way to keeping us doing these two streams every day. We don't use sponsors. We don't take breaks. We just do straight through. And your tips, your kindness, your gratuities are exactly what we need to make it through. We did not reach our goal this month. Shows aren't going to stop. It just makes it much more difficult around these parts in order to keep doing the shows. I'll keep doing them. I promise. I tell you guys all the time, I love doing this. And I love that you guys come and hang out. I love that you guys are here every single day, day in and day out for either this stream or the Pillow Talk stream. You're awesome. I love you. You give me a purpose. And so that's not going to stop. But we do require your tips to kind of help us go and to keep the lights on around these places. All right, enough of that nonsense, because you know how much I hate doing those pitches. Let's get into what today is. It's high noon for the first day of June, year of our Lord 2022. It is the 152nd day of the year. There are 213 days remaining until the end of the year. Let's take a gander, shall we? Gander. Look at that. How does that mean look? How does take a gander mean take a look? A gander is a male duck. I don't understand the world. I'm just trying to figure it out. All right. What is today? According to the national calendar, it's National Go Barefoot Day. And my kid ain't doing that. That's how we got in this situation in the first place, with the cut in between the toes, the slice. Oh, God, it's such a gross looking cut. Anyway, National Go Barefoot Day. Don't. There you go. Always wear something on your feet. Well, what are you, little Labner? What's going on here? Why are you running around outside without shoes? Do you ever see like a little kid, running around playing, and then they sit on the lawn chair next to you? Maybe it's time to eat the barbecue, and the little kid's feet, and you look at the bottom of the little kid's feet, and they're just like black as night. Oh, God, that's gross. That can't be good. I hate going barefoot. So screw you, National Barefoot Day. Here, there you go. Right there, National Barefoot Day. It's also National Hazelnut Cake Day. That can suck a D. I don't like National Hazel Cake. I don't like hazelnut cake. The hell is that about? Hazelnut. Ugh. I don't need your spare nuts. Give me pecans. Give me, what are the expensive Hawaiian nuts? Those are good. Whatever. I don't want hazelnut. Hazelnut can go suck. National Heimlich Maneuver Day. Did you know on this day, now I'm not going to mention it, but on this day, it's the day that the Heimlich Maneuver was, I don't know if it was invented, because I imagine old Doc Heimlich, he was working that out with it. He was probably such a pain in the ass to his friends. Are you choking? No, I'm fine. It's just a cough. Are you choking? I want to try out my new maneuver. But it was on this day that the Heimlich Maneuver was approved by, I don't know, or whatever the bullshit government bureaucracy is that we pay to approve such things. It was on this day that it was approved. It's National Nail Polish Day. Not of any interest to me. It's National Olive Day. I like olives, but you know what? I always get sucked in. Do you ever go to a store like a Kroger or a Tom Thumb or whatever, and they got the olive bar, and you're like, man, I sure could use $50 in olives right now. And then you like fill up the little cup, and you're like, oh man, these olives look great. Look, I got some Greek olives. I got some green olives. I got some black olives. I got some weird maroon colored olive. I don't know. I've got a whole thing of olives. And then I got some jalapeno stuffed out. That's the good shit. The jalapeno stuffed olives. Oh man, are you kidding me? I can eat a bucket of those. And then you weigh it, and it's like $40. And you're like, oh, well, guess I wanted olives. It's also National Pen Pal Day. Nobody has pen pals anymore. That's stupid. It's National World Reef Awareness Day. Are you aware that reefs exist? You're doing your part on this day. It's National Say Something Nice Day. Don't you all look beautiful? Look at you all in the chat room. We got Tartan, we got Byron, we got Sally, we got Kojak. My guy, Kojak. I love Kojak. Kojak's one of my oldest and bestest pals around these parts. Never in the chat room, but Kojak's here now. It's got to be a good day. Byron's here. Jeff's here. Oh, man. All right, you guys, we'll get to it. It's also National Running Day. It's National Barefoot Day and National Running Day. Pick a lane, national calendar. Are you suggesting we run barefoot? Because that's just a way to stub your toe. And, I got a kid in the other room right now who's got his foot up. That ain't happening. We ain't doing that. All right. I don't mean to be rushing. We are picking up the pace, though, today. On this day in history, why is today such a momentous and memorable day in history? We do this. This is part 2 of how we do the high noon broadcast. Louis Brandeis became the first Jewish appointed, he's the first Jewish Supreme Court guy. Yeah, Louis Brandeis became the first Jew appointed to the United States Supreme Court. Now, I know that that's the appropriate way to say it, becomes the first Jew, but doesn't that almost sound like you shouldn't call him, what are you, a Jew, right? Like it doesn't sound, but it's appropriate. Somebody who's Jewish is a Jew. And I don't know, we're just going to have to get over that. It feels hinky to me. On this day in 1950, the Declaration of Conscience speech is made. Now, this is probably not a huge part of U.S. history, but I remember we had to study this speech in college. It was made by a Republican senator from Maine, Margaret Chase Smith. And essentially, she says in this speech, the nation sorely needs a Republican victory, but I do not want to see the Republican Party ride to political victory on the four horsemen of calumny. Four horsemen of calumny. That's fear, ignorance, bigotry, and smear. She was making this speech in response to Joe McCarthy, Tail Gunner Joe. Everybody's a communist. And then he died because he went crazy and his brain exploded. That's probably not the medical definition of why he died, but he did die of like a brain explosion. This was a speech made all the way back in 1950 by revered Republican Senator Margaret Chase Smith, where she was warning. She was like, look, she's like, we are Republicans. We don't need to make up nonsense like Joe McCarthy is doing. So that was today. That was the Declaration of Conscience speech. Was made on this day in 1950. On this day in 1962, Adolf Eichmann, one of the architects of the final solution, Hitler's, he cleared out the ghettos. He put them on boxcars. He did all those bad things. On this day in 1962, he was hanged in Israel. On this day in 1980, CNN begins broadcasting. 42 years of mediocrity, pandering, and just gross consumerism. Screw you, CNN. Born on this day in 1980. On this day in 2001, the Nepalese Royal Massacre. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this. Kelly and me, when we were doing overnights, when we first started doing, we were doing overnights in Chicago, and then we started doing overnights in Dallas, and we were still doing the show from Chicago. This happened, and we tore this story apart. I was fascinated by this story. It happened on this day in 2001, okay? It was the Crown Prince of Nepal walked into a family party with a gun and just, like the school shooter, mass shooter thing. His entire family, the king, the queen, the princesses, the prince, he killed everybody in the royal line of succession. He just walked in and killed them all. And then he put a bullet in his own head, but he survived. And because he had killed off the entire line of succession, he was elevated to King of Nepal while in a coma in a hospital after slaughtering his entire family. And he eventually died, and some other dude became King of Nepal. But that only lasted for like 4 years because at some point the people of Nepal went, this royal family's nuts. Let's get rid of them. And they don't have a royal family anymore. But that was on this day in 2001. That was a fascinating story when it happened. It sounded like, wait, what? The prince killed that's like medieval, right? That's like straight out of Game of Thrones. On this day in 2004, Oklahoma City bombing co-conspirator Terry Nichols is sentenced to 161 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole for his role in the Murrah Federal Building attack. This broke a Guinness Book of World Records for, I guess, sentences? Okay. All right. And judging by our modern legal system, that means he should be up for parole any day now, right? Yeah. 161 consecutive life terms. He's good behavior. Day on, day off. He's probably up for parole anytime now. Let's celebrate some birthdays. We've got a couple of umbilical cousins. Umbilical cousins are they're two people born on the same day, but to completely different parents. A couple of famous umbilical cousins on this day, born in 1926. Happy birthday. You're dead, but still happy birthday to Andy Griffith and Marilyn Monroe. Andy Griffith and Marilyn Monroe, born on this day in 1926. Born on this day in 1937, Morgan Freeman. Oh, you better believe Morgan Freeman dropped! Oh, it's Morgan Freeman's birthday! So that means here on the High Noon Show, we are going to celebrate Morgan Freeman's birthday by doing a Morgan Freeman movie draft. Now, again, these are just my favorite Morgan Freeman movies. You might be like, you didn't even mention it. I'm like, okay, shut up. These are my... If I ain't seen a Morgan Freeman movie, I ain't drafting it. I'm sorry. But I will tell you, just like Clint Eastwood yesterday, and isn't that weird? Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman, they've been in a bunch of movies together. They're like tight. They're like good buddies. Their birthdays are one day apart. I don't know who's older though. I think Clint's Clint's like 92, so he's older. But doesn't like Morgan Freeman, like when you think of Morgan Freeman in a movie with Clint Eastwood, it's almost like Morgan Freeman plays the older guy, right? Like Morgan Freeman's always, but he's like 7 years. Yeah, Clint Eastwood was born in 1930. Morgan Freeman was born in 1937. So Morgan Freeman is 7 years younger than Clint Eastwood. All right, Morgan Freeman draft. With the first pick in the Morgan Freeman draft, we're going to the Clint Eastwood well. $1 Million Baby. $1 Million Baby. Number one in my Morgan Freeman draft. He was so good in $1 Million Baby. He was awesome. Number two in the Morgan Freeman movie draft. These are my favorite Morgan Freeman movies. We're going to go with 7. Yeah, remember 7? Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey, Head in the Box. Ooh, Gwyneth Paltrow. Ooh, Morgan Freeman. Ooh, Head in the Box. That's all I remember. Head in the Box. Going with number 3 in the Morgan Freeman draft. This is, again, we did some deep scouting on this one. This is one that you people be like, I've never even seen that movie. Oh, I did. This was a good movie. Street Smart. Street Smart from like the early 80s. Street Smart is the movie that kind of made Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman had done like a bunch of small movies and didn't really get any good notice. Well, I mean, I guess people liked him, but he wasn't a movie star. And then he did Street Smart, where he played this character, Fast Black. Fast Black was a pimp. Fast Black was a brutal, evil pimp. And Morgan Freeman was awesome in Street Smart. So there you go. Number 3, Street Smart. I think it was also Christopher Reeve. Was Christopher Reeve in Street Smart? Or Michael Caine? I don't know. Christopher Reeve, I want to say. Fast Black. That character of Morgan Freeman's is spooky. All right. Number 4 in the Morgan Freeman draft. I'm throwing it in here. I think this is one of the most overrated films in the history of films, but it's a good movie. It's a good movie, okay? It's a good movie. I enjoy it. I've seen it probably 3-4 times. It's a good movie. It's an enjoyable movie. Morgan Freeman is great in it. It's a good movie. But it ain't the greatest film of all time. Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption comes in at number 4 in my Morgan Freeman draft. Begrudgingly. This is like a draft where it's still, the player is still available on the board. And even though your particular scouting sort of is in opposition to what a lot of the other scouting says, because all the other scouting is going, he's the greatest. And I'm like, Shawshank Redemption isn't the greatest. It's very good. Very good. A top movie. An A movie. If I got to give it a good, it's an A movie. But there's a lot of A movies out there, and it ain't the best A movie. It's just not. So number 4, Shawshank Redemption. Still there on the board in the 4th round. And number 5 in the Morgan Freeman Happy Birthday to You, Sir draft. I'm going with Driving Miss Daisy. Driving Miss Daisy. I like that movie. I saw that movie when I was like, I don't know, 15, 16. And I was like, I like this movie. It's one of those movies where, like Titanic. I thought Titanic was about a boat sinking, and it's not. It's about a stupid love affair. It's like Jerry Maguire. I thought that was about the sports agency business. It's not. It's about a stupid love affair. Well, I thought Driving Miss Daisy was like a Dan Aykroyd movie, and I liked Dan Aykroyd back when I was 15. I was like, oh, we'll go see this. It's got to be funny. Dan Aykroyd's hysterical. And it wasn't funny. It wasn't. But it turned out to be good. Turned out to be a good movie. I'm like, okay, I like that chauffeur guy. And the chauffeur guy was Morgan Freeman. All right, there you have it. That's the 5-round draft. That's $1 Million Baby in the 1st round, 7 in the 2nd round, Street Smart in the 3rd round, Shawshank Redemption in the 4th round, Driving Miss Daisy in the 5th round. But we don't stop there. Not with somebody with a body of work quite like Morgan Freeman. We're inviting some undrafted free agents to camp here, and we'll be inviting Kiss the Girls, Glory, Unforgiven, Sum of All Fears, and Lean on Me. Lean on Me. What's in the Box? That's right, April. What's in the Box? Oh, 7 is so good. So I got to rewatch 7. I haven't seen 7 in a long time. Head in the Box. There's a Head in the Box, April. That's what's in the box. All right. Happy birthday, Morgan Freeman. We have other birthdays, too, to celebrate. Born on this day in 1946, Brian Cox. Not the much-traveled middle linebacker from the NFL in the 90s, but Brian Cox, the amazing actor who has been in so many things. Brian Cox draft! We don't do 2 drafts in a row. Don't worry. We're not going to do 2 drafts in a row. Brian Cox right now plays the greatest character in American television. And that is, of course, the character of Logan Roy in HBO's Succession. Happy birthday, Logan Roy. Brian Cox, happy birthday. Born on this day in 1947, also celebrating a birthday, Jonathan Pryce. Jonathan Pryce is an actor. If you're a Game of Thrones fan like me, I think he played the High Sparrow. But he's Jonathan Pryce is one of those, that dude actors. You've seen him in it's like you may not know his name, but you see him, you go, that dude. I know that dude. He usually plays an old man, usually plays a smart old man, usually plays like a sage, a wisdom sort of type dude. Jonathan Pryce, happy birthday. Born on this day, also umbilical cousins with Jonathan Pryce. Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones, born on this day in 1947. Born on this day in 1948, dead in 2017. One of my favorite interviews that I ever did. This guy was such a great guest. He was so kind. He was so forthcoming, and he was cool. He was just cool. He walked in, he was cool. And, if you grew up, as I say, I'm from the 80s. If you grew up in the 70s and the 80s, this guy was in everything. So when he walked into the studio, I was very excited to be interviewing Powers Booth. Powers Booth, born on this day in 1948, died in 2017. Powers Booth played Jim Jones. And you remember that there was a movie, like a made-for-TV movie back in like the early 80s, the story of Jim Jones and the Jonestown and the Drink the Kool-Aid and all that stuff. Man, he went into a story about playing that dude, about how it affected him for years and years and years, and how he still doesn't know that he's completely right, and he still doesn't know that what he had to learn and what he had to kind of go through to become the character of, well, still ain't right. He's dead. Hopefully he's right now. But man, he was great. Powers Booth. Love that guy. Born on this day in 1959, y'all know I'm a crazy Formula One fan. Love the F1. One of my favorite parts about Formula One Sunday. So like Formula One Sunday, they do this whole thing like, the NFL pregame where it's all, people in the studio and they're talking about the ins and the outs and all this stuff. One of the most popular segments of Formula One Sunday, one that we've showcased here on the show, is Martin Brundle's Grid Walk. Martin Brundle, former Formula One driver, funny guy, just takes the microphone and goes down on the grid and just starts bumping into people and interviewing them. It's like a man on the street thing, except he interviews like celebrities and stuff that are just like hanging around. Martin Brundle, happy birthday today. Martin Brundle, he of the famous Martin Brundle Grid Walk, an absolute icon of F1. People love him. He's like to F1 what? I don't know. Okay, so like in Chicago, well, I guess nationally though too, what Harry Carey is to baseball, like just this big Muppet, just this big sort of like mascot of the sport. That's kind of what Martin Brundle has become. Happy birthday, Martin. Born on couple of fabulous babes. I don't know. We'll break it down. Born on this day in 1973, in my estimation, an undeniable fabulous babe. Happy birthday, Heidi Klum, German-American model, fashion designer, supermodel Heidi Klum, born on this day, 1973. Born on this day in 1974, is she a fabulous babe? Alanis Morissette. Happy birthday, Alanis Morissette. You ought to know. You ought to know. Isn't it ironic? Alanis Morissette. Love her. She's cool. Do I love her, or was that just programmed? I think I don't know if I love Alanis more. She seems cool though. She does seem cool. Like she seems like in interviews and stuff, whatever. I guess I'm not like, I know like her 3 hits, right? Because I'm not really into the female empowerment rock. I'm not against it. I think that there should be a lane for that. It's just not, just not me. Whatever. But Alanis Morissette, she's fine. You Ought to Know is kind of a banger. That's a good one. I like that one. Born on this day in 1981, Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer's show was funny. Amy Schumer has been consistently irritating me though ever since she left her TV show, and she great. Amy Schumer seems a little bit too. I don't know. She like walks around with the energy of like Lucille Ball, and she ain't Lucille Ball. It's like, what are you so? You're like, you were A-list for a cup of coffee. Now you might be high B-list. I don't know what's going on with you. Why are you so in everybody's face all the time, Amy Schumer? Dial it back. Do a couple of projects that we all love, and maybe you get back in my good grace. She's not even in my bad graces. It's just like, what are you going to do? Also celebrating a birthday today. An absolute hero to my laid up kid. My 13-year-old kid is laid up in the next room over. My kid loves this guy. Happy birthday, Tom Holland. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Tom Holland. I don't know. Okay, so I got to whisper because he's in the other room. I don't know if he like totally admires Tom Holland because of Spider-Man, or if it's because Tom Holland is dating Zendaya, who my son loves. My son is like, oh my God. The way I had like Heather Locklear and Heather Thomas posters in my wall, he would have, if posters were still a thing, and they're not really, he would have like a giant Zendaya poster, and he loves Zendaya. Can't blame him. She's a beautiful woman. All right. How about some deaths? A bunch of people died, but only one really resonated with me. On this day in 2014, America's Housekeeper. We lost America's Housekeeper. We lost Alice from the Brady Bunch. Ann B. Davis died on this day in 2014. So sad. Ann B. Davis. What's going on with her and Sam? Okay, so Ann B. Davis had like a room. She had like a whole wing of the house right off the kitchen. Remember, there were like a couple of scenes in the Brady Bunch where you would kind of peer behind the kitchen into like Ann B. Davis's little living quarters. Sam was always my. There were some suggestions going on. There was some stuff going on in that house. I'm just saying. Sam the Butcher, Ann B. Davis, dead on this day in 2014. And it's totally natural. They weren't old people. How old was Ann B. Davis? Oh my God, didn't she seem old? Ann B. Davis seemed so old when she was playing Alice. I bet she was 10 years younger than I am now. All right, let's look at this. Let's do the math. Yeah, she was 8 years younger than me. I just went with 1970. Oh, God. Ann B. Davis seems so old. She was 8 years younger than me in 1970 when she was doing the Brady Bunch. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We all get old. Hold on a second. Hey, what's going on in there? All right, that ain't good. That ain't good when there's a lot of noise, and then you say what's going on in there, and then there's no noise. What are you doing? Hey, Bones. I'm entertaining millions out here. I can't be having these distractions. Are you okay? I gotta turn the mic off so I can yell like a dad. He's fine. Yeah. All right. Apparently he's messing with the dog. Okay, very good. Sorry for that. All right, let's get into some of the things that are trending. We're going to run through all the headlines, all the topics, all the things that people are talking about today. The big thing, Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary. Womp, womp. Oh, she's admitting that she may have made a mistake when she said that inflation wasn't a thing a year ago. Yeah, it's a thing there, Janet. It's a thing there. And have you seen the gas prices? Have you seen? Oh, God. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Everything seems to be 50 cents more expensive. At least that's the average. Seems like everything is 50 cents more expensive than it was just a year ago. And inflation is only at between 8 and 10%. Actually, no, I think it's at 11% now. So inflation is only at 11%. That means 11 cents more. That means it would be in step with the rising rate of inflation if things cost 11 cents more. But they don't. Everything costs 50 cents more. They're making profits off of inflation. I hate that. And they figure because they sit in their boardrooms and they go, everything costs 10 cents more. Hey, I bet we could charge people 50 cents more and make 40 more cents extra. And that's what it is. So we're the ones that suffer. Why? Because 40 cents more for things is kind of like, yeah, whatever. But ultimately, they're screwing us. And Janet Yellen, you Janet Yellen, step down. I am calling right now on the High Noon Show. I am calling for Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to step down. I know that people make mistakes, but when you are the Secretary of the Treasury of the United States and inflation begins to percolate over and you advise the President of the United States that, it's nothing, it'll be fine. And then it's not, and they do nothing about it. And now they're just like, wah, wah. Nope, you got to go. Goodbye. How about this? Moses Ingram and Gina Carano are both trending. Okay. Moses Ingram, who's Moses Ingram? I honestly had never heard the name Moses Ingram until earlier today when I saw this trending and it was popular. Moses Ingram plays a new character in the Obi-Wan series, the Star Wars Obi-Wan series. She's black lady, and if you Star Wars fans, kind of racist. They've always been kind of racist. They don't react well when the universe of they're fine with like dudes with like tentacles coming out of their heads. But as soon as like you introduce a human looking black person to the Star Wars, they always got something to say. And they had something to say. And apparently a whole bunch of people were like, black people don't belong in the Star Wars universe. And she's like, yes, we do. Yeah, it was one of those like, oh my God, one of those arguments. Like, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do? So, okay, so there was a whole bunch of nonsense about Moses Ingram being attacked online, because she's a black character in the Star Wars universe. And the Star Wars people, they all rallied to her defense, and they came out and they were like, they're like, hey, don't be racist? Okay, that goes without saying, but people are going to be racist. And also, here's the thing. They're saying Star Wars fans are racist. No, they're not. Star Wars fans are no more racist than NASCAR. Well, okay, that was a bad example. Star Wars fans are no more racist than Marvel fans. Here's the thing. Star Wars fans aren't just one specific group. It's not like the Pokemon crew, right? It's not like fans of Korean pop music, right? It's not. Star Wars fans are everything and everyone all over. They cast such a wide net. So yeah, you're going to get some Nazis. You're going to get some, you're going to get some trans people. You're going to get some Nazis. You can get, when you cast that Star Wars net, everybody likes Star Wars. Well, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying? It's a very wide net of people. So when you just boil it down and go, Star Wars fans are racist. I'm like, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm not racist. I don't get that whole thing. But, when there's that many people out in your universe, the Star Wars universe, you're going to get some people, and those people form an echo chamber. And then suddenly it just seems like everybody who's tweeting about Moses Ingram is racist. All right. So that elicited a response from the Star Wars people. And here's Obi-Wan himself, Ewan McGregor. You know Ewan McGregor. He plays Obi-Wan in the new series. He's the executive producer of the series. Is this it? No, that's not it. Is that it? Let's try that one. Let's see if that one comes up. Nope, that one didn't come up. What the hell? Something went wrong. Retry. Oh, okay. So what? I don't have Ewan McGregor now? What? You... Hold on. Let's try this again. Sorry, folks. I got Ewan McGregor's personal message. Log in? What? Why do I got to log in? What? Guys, I'm having some computer issues here. Huh. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Guys, give me a second here. I'm having some weird issues. All right, there I am. Is Twitter down? I'm trying on a different one. I'm trying on a different computer. Hey guys, is that breaking news? Is Twitter crashing? Because 2 computers now will not show Twitter. Let me see. Bear with me, because I've got a number of my notes saved on my Twitter. Okay. I don't know. Well, this is going to. Yeah, I think there's something wrong with Twitter. Huh. All right. Well, forget about it. Never mind. Never mind that. So I guess we won't be using Twitter trends today. Nope. Twitter is up. Works on my phone. Okay. Isn't that interesting? Might just be part of the. Let's see here. Let's try it again. Okay. Now it seems to be okay. It seems to be working now. All right. Let's see if this works. Yep, there it is. Okay, here we go. I don't know. It was just momentarily, it was just acting a little bit hinky. So this is what Obi-Wan himself had to say about the situation concerning the new black character on Obi-Wan.
Weekend, Star Wars fans made Obi-Wan Kenobi the most watched Disney Plus original series premiere of all time. And for that, I would say a big thank you. And it just goes to show what this family can do when we all pull together. However, it seems that some of the fan base from this influential fan base have decided to attack Moses Ingram online and send her the most horrendous racist DMs. And I heard some of them this morning and it just broke my heart. Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman. And she's absolutely amazing in this series. She brings so much to the series. She brings so much to the franchise. And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this has been happening. I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer on the series, that we stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world. And I totally stand with Moses.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ewan. Appreciate you. Good message. We can all get behind that. What are you going to do? Okay, so that's why Moses Ingram is trending. Now, why also is Gina Carano trending? Well, I'll tell you why. Gina Carano is trending because a couple of years back now, I guess she was on The Mandalorian, and she made some statements in her personal life that were, they weren't deemed, they were. She made some provocative statements concerning trans people's rights, and she made some other statements that were taken to be anti-Semitic. She seemed to, in one statement, minimize the Holocaust, just like crazy, just things. She said things in her personal life. And what happened was Gina Carano received some blowback and she was attacked online. And, the people who are attacking this Moses Ingram, we don't like you because you're on this show. Gina Carano suffered the same thing. People were like, you're transphobic. You said this. How do you say this? That whole thing. And Gina Carano was trending because a lot of people are like, but she didn't stand up for Gina Carano. Why is the Star Wars people, why are they rallying for, Moses Ingram, but not Gina Carano? You didn't stand up for Gina Carano. They're doing that whole thing. And it's like, just on face value, it's because you're not being intellectually honest here. That's not the same thing. The people who were attacking Gina Carano were attacking her because she said things that were provocative, that Disney corporate decided, this is going to be a problem with advertisers. We're going to lose money on this. This is not sustainable. Make no mistake. It wasn't that Disney went, what? We disagree with what she's saying on moral grounds. This will not stand. She must leave. That's not what Disney was doing. What Disney does is, how does this affect our bottom line? Oh, you mean we might have people protesting? We might have boycotts. Well, then we must get rid of her. So they got rid of her. They got rid of her for stuff she said. See, I say you're being intellectually dishonest when you make this ridiculous comparison to the two, because you see, Gina Carano made some bad takes, and she suffered the consequences of her bad takes. Moses Ingram was just born black. That's Moses Ingram is taking heat because she's a black character in Star Wars. That's why she's being attacked. Gina Carano said some things that people didn't like, and then there was a big hubbub, and Disney decided that's not good for business, and so they cut her loose. It's not in any way, shape, or form the same thing. And if you think it is, you're not being thoughtful about this. You're not looking at both situations. They're not equal. They're not even remotely the same. I'm not saying any of them are right, but I'm getting sick and tired of these freaks on the left and freaks on the right who seem to think that cancel culture pertains to personal responsibility. It doesn't. It does. If you say something, look, if you say something and it's deemed to be offensive or not right, you suffer. Look, you can say whatever you want. Nobody's saying Gina Carano, she can't talk. She can talk. She can say whatever she wants. But if you say something and people don't like it and there's a blowback from it, that blowback based on what you said is not cancel culture. That is not the same thing. Come on, man. Being held to account for, being what a lot of people think is a shitty person isn't cancel culture. It's not. And I'm tired of it. Cancel culture is when, you know what? I'm so tired of talking about cancel culture. Anyway, the attacks on this Moses Ingram person, who I don't know who she is, the attacks on her are because she's a black person in a Star Wars movie. The attacks on Gina Carano is because in her spare time, she said some things that people thought were, that's not, you can't say. Disney, do you know what one of your stars is saying? And Disney went, that's going to affect our bottom line. That's all it is. Disney should fire the black girl for being black in a Star Wars movie. What? Is that honestly what you're looking for? Anyway, that's why Moses Ingram and Gina Carano are trending. They're not the same thing. Look, I have an issue with, the way Gina Carano was fired. I think that what Gina Carano said was a little bit ill-advised, inartful, and made me go, ooh, that could be a problem. But she's not evil. What she said didn't make her evil and needs to be banished into the far corners of hell. That was the overreaction. And Disney's decision was based solely on monetary loss. That's all. Well, if we got somebody saying this, then, people are going to think we're hiring. Disney is a stupid corporation, a big corporation. They don't give a shit about you and your feelings. They give a shit about their bottom line. They give a shit about money that they're going to be able to make. This isn't about them taking. I mean, it's easy to say it's about making moral stands, but have you seen the stock prices? Disney is one of the largest. First of all, I think it's currently the largest producer of entertainment in the world. I mean, since they acquired the Marvel Universe and the Star Wars, they're all about money, 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 honey. That's all they care about. Gina Carano and Moses Ingram, not the same situation. One said some stuff. Corporate interests felt threatened. Corporate interests reacted the way corporate interests react. The other was born black, and people don't like that she's in a Star Wars movie. That's it. That's the difference. All right. So let's move on. Hammers are trending. Hammers, not hammer pants, not MC Hammer. Hammers are trending. Hammers are trending because, well, I guess I'll show it to you. Yeah, why not? Well, so one of the talking points, we just had the NRA thing down there in Houston. And it's certainly ill-timed, just a couple of miles away from where there was a school shooting. If the NRA is trying to avoid the political repercussions of things, this was just terrible, terrible timing. But there have been a whole bunch of talking points that people have been putting out there. And I think that if you listen to this show, you know that I am an advocate for the Second Amendment. I don't want to repeal the Second Amendment. I just want to, what my concern is as somebody who, as a very young child, was the residual I felt the residual effects of gun violence. My life was changed forever because somebody legally purchased a gun and decided to rob and murder my father on the street with it. My life was changed forever. I would have liked for that guy to have not been able to get a gun because he was obviously a junkie, but he was able to get a gun. And, so I think that, we need to just, at the very least, we need to take a look at these laws. But I don't feel like everybody needs to give their guns back. I don't feel like, you need to repeal the Second Amendment. That's not what I'm calling for. I am calling for reasonable people to just come together and go, hey, lunatics probably shouldn't be able to walk into a Walmart and buy a gun. Whatever it is. And I know that I'm oversimplifying it, but if you listen to this show, you know what my feeling is on this. We're all horrified when we see these situations like the one that happened in Uvalde a week ago today. Was it a week ago today? Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. But so the NRA, their business is to sell guns, and that's their business. That's what they do. They're not advocates for the gun owner. They're not. I know that they present it that way, and that's how they make their money off dues. But in reality, their job is to be able to make it easy to buy as many guns as possible. Now, you can have a political opinion on that. I personally do not at this time that I'm willing to share, because it's just, that's not the fight we're having right now. That is not the debate that should be going on. But the people at the NRA convention over the weekend, they had a whole bunch of talking points that they were prepped with. They heard people come up on stage and go, well, more people died from Velcro incident, stuff like that they then hear. And then they go out in the world and they basically parrot them. So this is why Hammers is trending today. This is not, look, let's be clear. This person might be an idiot, but they're not represented. I was out on a boat on Saturday one of the boats we were tied up with had a big NRA sticker on the back. And let me tell you, they were lovely people. They were lovely people. They were decent people. We didn't get into a gun conversation, but I can tell you they're not what the left paints every NRA member as, which is an insane, frothing at the mouth, gun fetishist. Some of them are. Some are. You see these weird pictures that are going around on social media with little kids with their 1,000 guns laid out in the drive. It's kind of weird. It's like, okay, man, I like candy bars, but I wouldn't do that with candy bars. It's a weird kind of thing. And we're in very, very treacherous times with this conversation. So we need to try and be as respectful to everybody. But this is why Hammers is trending. All right, here we go. Yikes. Here we go. This was from the NRA convention this weekend. This is an NRA member being interviewed.
More people and more crime is committed, and more people are killed with hammers. Every year. Guns.
See how confident he is in that statement? Look at him. He's like, I've got you now. Hammers kill more people in America every year than guns.
I don't think that's true, actually.
That is true.
In the United States, though?
Yes, sir. That is true. Look it up. It's on. You can Google it. It's true. It's actually true.
He's going to Google it.
So, number of murder victims and weapons used. Okay, number 1, handguns, 8,029. Number 2, firearms, type not stated, 4,863. Number 3, knives or cutting instruments, personal weapons, fists, feet. Then rifles at 455. Then blunt objects, clubs, hammers, 393. So the 300.
Okay, so this man just challenged him to look it up, and he produced the numbers. 8,000 to, where is it? The blunt objects, 393. So 8,000 will round up to 400. So 8,000 handguns. Remember, he was so confident in saying that hammers kill more people than handguns because he was told that. And it sounded like something that he wanted to believe, so he believed it. Okay? He challenged this guy to look up that statistic, a statistic that he's been told by somebody who manipulated him. Somebody knew that wasn't true, but got up on stage somewhere and said, and I'll have you know, hammer. And this guy went out into the world, and now he believes it because somebody that he trusted manipulated him in parroting back nonsense. So let's see how he reacts.
300, the hammers, that stat is just wrong.
Back to your question, Second Amendment is still my right, and it's still in
You can't see. This is the problem. We are all so dug into what feels right. Stephen Colbert 20 years ago created the term, what was it? Truthiness. Truthiness is something that is probably not true, but it just feels like it should be true to me. It was a joke 20 years ago, and we in this country are drowning in truthiness. We only believe what supports what we already think to be true. That is a problem. This guy challenged the dude to look up the statistics. He pulled up the statistics. He was wrong, not even close. 4,000 or 8,000 to 400. And when he's confronted with the facts that he's wrong, okay, throw that away. That's called not having principles. That's called not being true.
Important to me.
Or it goes right back to the Second Amendment thing, which nobody is trying. Oh, God. Actually, you know what my fear is now? Now we're starting to hear people actually talk about the Second Amendment thing. And I will be on the side of keeping the Second Amendment. I will be on that side. I've been saying for months now that nobody with any power is talking seriously about attempts to remove the Second Amendment. They are now. They are now. And I believe that they are now because there has been an absolute reluctance to even have a normal conversation about it. So now the anti-gun people have been forced to go nuclear. We've been, and I'm not an anti-gun person, but I and most reasonable people have for years now been saying, can we please just talk about this reasonably? Can we please? No, you're trying to take the Second Amendment from. No, we're not. No, we're not. We just want to talk about, how we can do this. You want to talk mental health? Let's talk mental health. Let's do that. But you're trying to take the Second Amendment. No, we're really not. Well, I think we're at a point now where they're going to start going, you know what? Fuck these people. If this is honestly how obstinate they're going to be in a good faith conversation about how we can protect the innocent citizens of America, then maybe you just can't. Maybe there is no middle ground. Maybe it is just, let's just go to war over oh God, people, can't we just talk? Can't we just have a conversation? Most reasonable people can come to a reasonable agreement. The problem is that the unreasonable people seem to be the loudest in our society right now. We just, unreasonable person. Stop it. Reasonable people, let's go out for a beer. Let's talk about this. Let's not scream at each other. Let's just see if we can find the common things that we all agree in. I'll tell you what, let's start here. Kids shouldn't be killed. Kids shouldn't be killed going to school in America. That's one thing. We can all agree on that. How about completely crazy people should not be allowed to buy guns? Okay, can we agree? You can agree with that, right? Somebody going, I'm going to kill people, so I'm going to go get me a gun. That guy, let's figure out a way to stop that guy. Baby steps. We'll stop that guy because we all agree on that. Doesn't agree on that? The gun dealers who don't want any restriction, and not gun dealers, not the guy down the street that operates the gun shop, although he's probably, in agreement with that. We're talking about the manufacturers. We're talking about Big Gun. Big Gun doesn't want there to be any restrictions, and why would they? What, you're going to tell me I can't sell a gun to a crazy person? That guy's going to spend $500. So we just need to be reasonable, and we're not reasonable, and I can't imagine that it's ever going to get better. I mean, I hope that when I'm 80 years old and then I'm dying, that we can look back on these times and go, man, people were crazy back then, right? The shit was nuts. What happened? Thank God we pulled out of that. But I don't know that we're gonna. All right, 36%. 36% is trending. Why is 36% trending today? You want to hear something crazy? Listen to this. More than a third, and it's actually, more than a third, it's 36%. More than a third of Americans earning at least $250,000 a year annually say they are living paycheck to paycheck. People who are making $250,000, a third of people making $250,000. By the way, that puts you in the top 5%. That's top 5% earners in all of America. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine full disclosure, I've made that much in a year. and I didn't live paycheck to paycheck. How are these people, it's been a long time ago, but how are these people making $250,000 a year and living paycheck to paycheck? Well, I'll tell you why. It's ego. It's narcissism. It's people who feel that whatever their what kind of car they drive says more about them than the kind of person they are. The neighborhood they live in says more about them than how they treat others. This is the issue. People, $250,000 and you're living paycheck to paycheck. What do you need 3 cars, a boat, and a $1 million home? I don't understand that. I saw this 36% trending today, and I was like, are you kidding me? Do you know how well I could live on $250,000 and probably be banking a good $100K a year, just banking it? I mean, on $150,000 a year, I could live well. You could live well. It is 5 times the national average. People who make $250,000 a year, $250,000, is 5 times the national average. And 36% of them are living paycheck to paycheck. Those are broken people. Those are people who don't understand the power of a dollar. Those are people who are more interested in their own narcissistic needs. Well, I've got 15 big screens, because every room has to have a big screen, because when people come over, I want them to be impressed and think that I'm really awesome. That's an ego issue. Get your ego under control, man. You can have a nice house. You can drive a nice, dependable car. You can put your kids in private school. You can have a nice vacation. You can live the way well-living people lived in the 1960s and 70s and 80s on $250,000 a year, and then have money left over for college, for whatever, maybe a toy every now and again. You can do that on $250,000. 36% of Americans can't live. They're living paycheck to paycheck on $250,000 a year. Oh my God. Good Lord. How does that make you feel as a working man? How does that make any of us feel as people who just, what, these idiots? You see these idiots with their, all right. Okay, here's another one. We'll get into this one. This is another number is trending. 8 and 10. Oh my God. Are you ready for this? Hey guys, do you like Grubhub? Do you like Uber Eats? Do you like all of these things? Do you like getting food delivered to your house? I do. I do it a lot. Not a lot, but hold on. I don't want a header here. Hold on, folks. Sorry. I'm having a bit of an issue here. 8 and 10 is trending. And here's why 8 and 10 is trending. Are you ready to be grossed out? And boy, have I got some stories for you. 8 out of 10 food delivery drivers say that they have eaten your food, that they have taken your food. So, you get that Uber Eats or the Grubhub or whatever it is, and you're like, typically the order of cheese sticks has 6 cheese sticks, and they must have forgotten a cheese stick. They didn't forget a cheese stick. Your driver ate one of your cheese sticks on the way to your house. It's just a thing that happens, and it just goes on. This is according to a food service website called That Bites. 8 out of 10 food delivery drive. So it's 10 out of 10, or at the very least 9 out of 10. Maybe there's one honest guy out there that won't do it, but the 9th guy is lying. 8 are admitting the truth, which is crazy. The 9th guy is lying, and maybe the 10th is the one you want to get. Ordering takeout tonight, it might be a good idea to go pick it up yourself. A new survey finds 8 in 10 food delivery workers admit to eating part of their customer's order. According to the poll of more than 500 delivery drivers commissioned by Circuit Route Planner, stealing a customer's fries or putting their sticky fingers on someone's chicken may not even be the most disgusting thing happening on the way to your front door. 1 in 4 drivers confess that they've hooked up with someone in their vehicle with your food there. 1 in 10 have urinated on or near a customer's home. All right. Another 10% say, well, I guess that's better than food. Another 10% say they've had to urinate in a bottle while making your food delivery. More than a quarter, 27%, add that they've had some less than professional conversations with people they deliver goods to. Other actions some drivers admit to that are sure to infuriate consumers include intentionally damaging packages. Oh, yeah. I got stories. Stealing packages. Oh, are they talking about like Amazon boxes and stuff on the porch? I don't know. Stealing package, 17% said they stole packages. And opening them and then resealing them. Let's see. Is there anything more to this? No. Okay. All right. So there you go. 8 out of 10. They're screwing with your food. 8 out of 10 have admitted that they're screwing with the food. The 9th out of 10 is lying. He does it too. He's just, duplicitous by nature. And then maybe the 10th guy. Maybe we'll give the 10th guy. We'll say the 10th guy is good. All right. So now let's do some stories. Story time here on the High Noon Show. So when I was a younger man, I've told these stories back on the old Pugs and Kelly show and all of that. Let me just tell you flat out. This comes down to tips. This comes down to tipping. If you are someone who orders food from a restaurant in your name, let's just say pizza, okay? Because this is we'll keep it in my home lane. This is what I know. So when you order pizza from a place, you typically order from the same place. Actually, I don't know if that's true here in Texas, but where I come from in Chicago, pizza is so prevalent that you decide on what your favorite pizza is and you get pizza from that place. You have a pizza place that you get it from. And let's say you order pizza once a week, right? You order pizza from the same restaurant once a week forever. The drivers there will know your name. They will see the ticket hanging and they'll go, oh God, I don't want to get this one. This person stiffs. It's an industry term for doesn't tip. This person stiffs. I don't want to get there. I don't want to get this one. Please don't let me get this delivery because this person sucks and it's just going to be a bullshit run for me. So if you order from the same place every time or with frequency, you're not just some anonymous. They know who you are. These drivers are driven by tips. They know the good tippers. When they see the tickets come up, they will fight for the good tickets. They will hoard, they will steal, they will take multiple pizzas just to be able to take yours with it. This one's going in this direction too. And then trust me, the guys will fight. That's not going anywhere near that one. Why are you taking that one? You're taking that one because you know it's a $20 tip. These are the things that go on in the restaurant or in the case of the Uber deliveries. I guess it might be different. I've never delivered with Uber, but if you order from the same place and you're a bullshit tipper, or you're one of these guys that go, I don't tip because, they go get a different job if you don't want to tip. Shut up and bring my food. Are you a moron? These people are in possession of your food that you are going to put into your body, that you are going to feed your children with. Now, I'm not saying this is right. I am saying this happens. That's all I'm saying about it. They will with your food. If you are somebody who orders from the same place and you're either a bad tipper, you're a complainer, you don't tip at all, whatever it is, your food has been messed with 100. I guarantee it. 100%. Oh, I order from this place every Friday night and I never tip them. Screw them. Bring my food. They're handling your food. They know who you are. By your own admission, you said that you order from them every Friday night. They are spitting on your pizza. Yeah, they are spitting on. I've known guys who have destroyed pizzas intentionally. Like, you're supposed to keep pizzas. This is going back to the days of my pizza delivering. You're supposed to keep the pizzas secured in a box. You're supposed to keep them warm. You're supposed to keep them covered. You're supposed to keep them away from the elements. If you are a bad person, they ain't doing that. They're going to take your pizza out of the box. They're going to put your pizza on the floor. They might even turn the air conditioning on so that it's blowing right down on your pizza so you get a cold pizza. You know why? Because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about you. You're a garbage person who treats these people like they're trash, and they are going to make your pizza experience miserable. Why? Well, then I won't order from them anymore. Good. That's what they want. The drivers don't want you ordering from them. Now, of course, the owner of the place might have a problem with it, but the driver doesn't. The driver wants you to order from somebody else and torture some other driver. these people, I'm just saying, these people that handle your food, man, when they show up at your house with the food, be nice to them. You don't even have to tip crazily. You have to tip decent. Tip 15%, tip 20%, whatever. If you want to make an impression, tip more. That's the other tip. Look at this. That is another pro tip for this kind of situation. If you want your food fast and you order from the same place every time, tip that driver every time. Tip that driver big every time. Hey, man, next time, remember, take mine first. They will. They will take yours first because they know that you're a good tipper and they want you to be happy. See, it's common sense. So this idea to me that 8 in 10 delivery drivers have admitted that they have screwed. We used to do such awful things, man. Sub-zero temperatures, freezing. We would take bad pizza. We take pizzas to bad pizza people. And, we would suffer the sub-zero temperatures in the ride out there with the windows rolled down and your food on the go. We will give you a pizza covered in snow. We will just, here you go. Sorry. Look at the roads. It's rough out there. Wreck pizza. That's the other trick. You'll wreck a pizza on purpose and bring it to them, especially if, and you'll get it late. Like you'll go last. If you're the bad tipper, you get your food last because you want to deliver to all the people who you don't know what the tips are. You'd rather roll the dice and gamble. So you will go to all of the other people first before you deliver the guy who tips badly or doesn't tip at all. And then that dude will get a cold pizza, and then you can actually destroy that pizza to a degree. You can let it slide off the chair. You can let it fold up, whatever. You can give them a shit pizza because by the time you first arrive, they're hungry. They're going to eat it. Eat it, you fucking monkey. Eat it. You waited an hour and a half for this pizza. It's ice cold and it's destroyed. Eat it. What are you going to do? Oh, you want another one? It'll be another hour and a half. How hungry are you going to be then? Stupid. Fine. Don't order from us. You can't say all this stuff, but these are all the things that the drivers are thinking. This idea of stealing stuff off a person's porch, like an Amazon package or something like that, well, you're just a criminal. If you're doing that, you're just fuck all the other things about tipping and all that. At this point, you're just a criminal if you're doing that. These people, 23% that admit that they have messed with packages on people, that's criminal activity, okay? I'm going to put you in a different category. But as far as the everyday, there are ways to not ensure, because look, man, whether it's the elements, whether it's a ridiculously busy night or whatever it is, sometimes shit is going to be late. It's just, traffic, whatever. You can't account for all that stuff. But day in and day out, if you treat the guys who bring you your food well, word will get around and you will receive preferential treatment. It's that easy. It's just like if you hang out at a bar. If you hang out at a bar and you treat the bartender well, when that bar is crowded, that bartender is going to be coming by you, whether there's 3-4 people deep in line trying to get the, can I get a drink? Can I get something over here? Can I get something over here? They will spot you in the crowd and go, what can I get you? It's how it works. You take care of people. They take care of you, especially when you're talking about something in the tip world, which is why I get mad at this because for some reason, my Grubhub is set when I go to check out on Grubhub, or maybe it's my Uber Eats, whatever. It's one of them. Whenever I go to check out, it defaults to a 30% tip. Always, like it's right there. Like I have to physically take it off the 30%, and I know that's because that's what I tip anyway. I always take care of these people when they bring the food. But I get like angry in the minute. I'm like, how dare you assume that I'm going to tip 30%? And then I go, yeah, but I'm going to tip that anyway. So, whatever. But don't assume that I'm going to just tip. I'm just saying, if you order from the same place every time, or not every time, but with some regularity, doesn't matter if it's the same driver. The drivers know. If you order from a place with regularity, take care of that driver, man. Because they're going to see you next time and they're going to be like, oh, fuck this guy. This guy's food's going in the trunk and I'm taking it last. Fuck this guy. There you go. There's little pro tips. But 8 out of 10 people who deliver your food say that they have swiped something. I would like to say that I've never done that. But, when I was 22 years old and hungry, it's a Friday night, you've been grinding for like 5 hours. and the fries are right there, yeah, I may have grabbed a fry. Can't do it with pizza, though. You can't steal a piece of pizza because, it'll be missing. And that's a little bit too obvious. But I would never have taken. You know what? We used to serve fried mushrooms. I've taken a fried mushroom. My friend Tim used to call it a Tim Tax. He would, if an order had fried mushrooms, because that's just like a big bowl with 50 fried mushrooms, and you can't count those. He would always be like, Tim Tax. He would take one and eat it and then fold it back up. Still wrong. Don't endorse that at all. But, you're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that do these jobs, and what do they know? All right, let's see. What else do we have here? What else is trending today? Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So Bradley Cooper, have you seen this thing? Bradley Cooper is playing Leonard Bernstein, the composer, film composer, music, all this stuff. Is a great, accomplished, one of the great musical creators of the last 100 years, Leonard Bernstein. So Bradley Cooper is portraying Leonard Bernstein in a movie about Bernstein's life. And guess what's trending? Jewface! Jewface is trending again. We talk about this every time it's trending. People are upset that Bradley Cooper, who is not Jewish, is portraying Leonard Bernstein, who is Jewish, and they've used some makeup in order to make Bradley Cooper look like Leonard Bernstein. And the fact of the matter is that Leonard Bernstein had a prominent nose, okay? He had a prominent nose. So the makeup that they are using to make Bradley Cooper look like Leonard Bernstein has a prominent nose. And people are saying, you can't be not Jewish playing a Jewish person. It's like, oh God, really? Because I'm pretty sure that Dustin Hoffman didn't have severe autism. And we were fine with him playing Rain Man. I am pretty sure that Daniel Day-Lewis in My Left Foot didn't have that problem, yet he was playing a severely handicapped person. These are actors. You're telling me now that an Irish guy can't play an Italian guy? A Hispanic guy can't play an Italian guy? Is that what you're telling me? An Italian guy can't play a British guy? What is going on here? These are actors. They are playing. They are performing. So here, let me show you. Let's take a look at what Bradley Cooper is doing. It is truly amazing. The makeup that they have put on Bradley Cooper is super awesome. All right, look at this. So here, the first picture we're going to see, this is Bradley Cooper. This is Bradley Cooper, and he's being accused Jewface. He's being accused of engaging in stereotypes because that's Bradley Cooper. That's Bradley Cooper as Leonard Cohen. Look at that. I mean, that's some awesome makeup. So Bradley Cooper is accused of being anti-Semitic because they went with a prosthetic nose in order for him to make the transformation into Leonard Bernstein. Now, it would certainly be a case to be made for this argument, I believe, if Leonard Bernstein didn't look like that. But now, let's take a look at Leonard Bernstein, okay? Let's see what the real Leonard Bernstein looks like, and let's see if the choice of going with that nose is anti-Semitic and just being done. Let me see here. All right, so here is the real Leonard Bernstein. And yeah, okay, so that was Bradley Cooper. And now this is going to be the real Leonard Bernstein, who Bradley Cooper is portraying. Nope, that's the wrong one again. I am so sorry. Here, fumbling through this nonsense today. Here we go. This is Leonard Bernstein. Okay. Leonard Bernstein has he has a large nose. He also happens to be Jewish. The Nazis and anti-Semites over the course of the past couple thousand years have made that a trope. The evil Jew with the big nose. And that's a terrible thing. But in this case, if you're trying to look like Leonard Bernstein, you're trying to make an audience of people lose sight of the fact that it's actually Bradley Cooper. One of the arguments is Bradley Cooper has played two other historical figures, and he never felt the need to wear a prosthetic. He played Chris Kyle in American Sniper, who, if he had had a large nose, probably would have had. And then he played Peters, John Peters, the movie producer in Licorice Pizza. And he didn't. John Peters is a Jewish guy. John Peters doesn't have a big nose. Bradley Cooper didn't put on a prosthetic big nose. But for this role, in order to become Leonard Bernstein, he has a very large nose. This is so ridiculous. I don't understand why this gains any traction. Because the role here's why. Jake Gyllenhaal, who happens to be Jewish, wanted to play this role, and he lost out on the rights to Leonard Bernstein's music. Leonard Bernstein's family basically had Jake Gyllenhaal coming at him and Bradley Cooper coming at him, and Jake Gyllenhaal, who is Jewish, wanted to play the role, and Bradley Cooper, who is not Jewish, wanted to play the role, and somehow Bradley Cooper won over the Bernstein family, and they went, okay, we're going with you. So if Jake Gyllenhaal had won the role, and Jake Gyllenhaal is Jewish, if he had won, would he have said no to the prosthetic that would transform his face into looking remarkably like Leonard? This is such a non-story, and it is so ridiculous. And if you're saying that only Jews can play Jews, oh, piss off with that. If you're saying that only you want to make a movie about somebody who has traumatic head injury because of a car accident, are you telling me that we can only cast actors who have suffered traumatic brain? These are actors. These are people who are not supposed to be who they are in real life. They're showing you their skill in transforming into somebody else. It's acting. Byron says, sorry, Jake. If only talent wasn't a requisite. It's so true. So there you go. That's why that's trending. All right, folks, I got to cut it short. I am so sorry, but I got my kid with the foot thing, and we got to take care of that. We got to do some running around, and then I got to drop him off before he goes on his little vacation with his family. I'm sure there are other things trending. If there's anything major that I missed, I'll be sure to bring it up tonight on Pillow Talk with Pugs and Parker. Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk. We'll get into that tonight at 9:00 Central Time on the stream. I appreciate you cutting me some slack here. Come on. Some days I promise you about 2 hours a day, and some days I go longer. Well, last week I went like 4 hours. So, it'll all even out in the wash. Actually, it won't even out. It'll still be heavy on the side of going over, because just about every day I go to at least 2:15. So I do apologize. Why are you begging for their approval? Because I care. Because I care about their approval. There. Schizophrenic me. Unlike you, I'm not just lost in my own thoughts and my own negativity. I am an optimist. I am caring. I am thoughtful, and I don't want to let people down. And I appreciate those who tune in and check out this show every day at noon, high noon. That's what we do here. Once again, it is the first of the month. If you can donate to the show, that would be great. Please, please, please help me out. No, I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to beg, because you people always come through. So I'm certain that we will be okay. So thank you. If you can, like I say, I'm your bartender. I'm your barista. Not looking for big giant drops. Just looking for anything that you can do to get us over the finish line. And then, you know how it usually goes. The next 17 days or so of the month, I won't say anything about it. and then I'll be begging again at the end of the month. You guys are the best. Appreciate you tuning in. I've got to go. Kids being way too quiet in the other room. Isn't that weird? It's like, why are you being quiet, dude? What's going on in there? What are you doing in there that's making you so quiet? I like it when he makes noise. When he makes noise, not crazy noise, not like over the top, he's tearing down a wall for some reason. A little bit of noise. A little bit of noise is good, because they're just doing stuff. No noise concerns me. Wrong closing theme. There you go. Here you go. I like to think that Jeff Glenn always gets a little chub whenever I accidentally play the other song. We'll play it sometime. Tartan Sauce says, spending some time with that Zendaya poster. He is 13. Hey, I don't ask questions. I don't ask a look. 13-year-old boy needs his privacy. Just let him have his whatever. But look, puberty is a bitch. I get it. Al says, "Do I have new glasses?" Yeah, I do. I have multitudes of new glasses, but these are currently my favorites. Thank you for noticing, Kenny Jenkins. Later to you, Kenny. I love Kenny. April's my girl. That Perd verdict will need to be discussed. Drops it too. Oh yes. Okay. Well, we will definitely be covering that. I am certain tonight on Pillow Talk. All right, guys. I gotta run. Again, tip the show if you can. I love you. You're the best. We'll see you at 9:00 tonight. Thank you for joining me today.
Guitar, that is all I need. I don't need no 401, I don't have the greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come.